Good morning. This is Kathleen Clow with the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Sunday, August 10th, 2025. The fire potential impacts across the next few days include abnormally hot and dry conditions. As high pressure builds over the basin, we expect hot and dry conditions today with high temperatures in the 90s, approaching triple digits across much of Nevada, including the Sierra Front and western central Idaho. This area of hot and dry conditions expands further east to cover almost all of Nevada and the western half of Idaho over the next couple days, where we expect to see temperatures about 7 degrees above normal for this time of year and triple digit temps across the Sierra Front and western Idaho Monday and Tuesday. Radar estimates from the past 24 hours reflect some of yesterday's cloud cover, but no precipitation was seen across the basin. Satellite loop from yesterday afternoon into the evening shows some heavier cloud cover across Utah, where we saw higher RH values yesterday, as well as scattered clouds across northern central Idaho and a line of cloud cover that moves south across Nevada. In the past 24 hours, the Great Basin had 7 new starts for a total of 1,488 acres and a large fire growth of 4,144 acres. The past 3 days show the highest precipitation amounts across portions of northern central Idaho. These areas received at least a hundredth of an inch to a half inch with sparse pockets of up to 1 inch. The rest of the basin remained completely dry. In the last 30 days, received precipitation remains well below normal for most of the Great Basin, except northwestern Nevada and sparse pockets in western and northern central Idaho. ERC values remain between 50 and 75% across western Idaho and the Sierra Front from recent precipitation, but are back on the rise across these areas, especially in the Sierra Front, where we're seeing more point values between the 70th and 80th percentile and a few more in the 90th to 97th percentile. ERC values across eastern Nevada, Utah, eastern central Idaho, and western Wyoming remain extremely high and above 97%. You can see most of the map is in purple here. Satellite from this morning shows clear skies over Nevada and Idaho and some lingering cloud cover and smoke across Utah. Smoke impacts will be seen along the southern half of the basin today, with a heavier impact in the Las Vegas and Arizona Strip area from those large California fires and southern Utah from the Monroe Canyon fire. Less impact across the basin tomorrow, except for the southern tip of Nevada, the Arizona Strip, and southern Utah, which will continue to see smoke impacts from those southern California fires and ongoing Monroe Canyon and Dragon Bravo fires. Additionally, eastern central Utah is expected to see some impact from the Lee Fire in Colorado tomorrow as wind directions shift. Today, we will see that warming and drying trend really take off. Most of the Great Basin will remain at moderate risk, except for northern central Idaho, which has moved to low or little to no risk from that recent precip. So you can see maybe some breezier conditions in here today. Major concern for today is hot and dry conditions with no chance of precipitation and high temperatures in the mid to high 90s across the western and southern half of the basin, with triple digit temps from Las Vegas east through the Arizona Strip. Idaho will see warmer temperatures as well in the mid 80s to low 90s. And again, this is about 7 degrees above normal for this time of year. Not much of a wind concern today, maybe some brief gusty winds between 20 to 30 miles per hour across central Utah in the afternoon. Minimum RH values remain critical and in the single digits across the southern half of the basin, and RH values are slightly higher in the northern half of the basin, mid teens to low 20s, but overall dry across the basin. On Monday, most of the Sierra Front is going to move to moderate risk, and the basin remains at moderate risk except for northern central Idaho, which is still at that low or little to no risk, which you can just see that dry air mass in red coming down. Maybe a little breezy, but overall really just concerned about the heat on Monday. No precipitation expected within the basin tomorrow, and max temperatures will be higher than today, with triple digit heat from the Sierra Front south to the Vegas and Arizona strips. We expect temperatures in the high 80s to mid 90s across the rest of the basin, which again is about 7 degrees above normal. But you can see that, 102 in the Nevada California border, 120 down by Vegas. It's going to be a very hot day on Monday. No wind concern really on Monday. Maybe some breezier conditions across Utah. You can see a little bit of orange there, maybe like 15 to 25 mile per hour range. Minimum relative humidity still remain critical and in the single digits between 5 and 10% across those hot areas, and in the teens to low 20s up north in Idaho. On Tuesday, again, no high risk triggers. The southern Sierra Front is going to join that moderate risk category along with the rest of the basin. And you can see even northern central Idaho starting to dry out and kind of moving to more of that yellow category. But just another hot and dry day on Tuesday. Dry again with no chance of precipitation anywhere in the basin on Tuesday, and max temperatures will be even hotter than Monday, with triple digit temps from the Sierra Front and east across much of Nevada and the Arizona Strip, as well as western Idaho. You can see that 100-degree point there. 121 in Vegas, 101, kind of in the Reno area. So, again, a very, very hot day on Tuesday. There's not really a wind concern on Tuesday, maybe some breezy 15-mile-an-hour winds across central Idaho and western Wyoming, but not really a concern. Our H values still remain critical in the single to low double digits and in the 6 to 8% range down south, where we expect to see those high temperatures over 105. So it's something to look out for. Over the next 3 days, the Great Basin will remain completely dry, so no rain chance for us. On Wednesday, we expect similar conditions. The majority of the basin is going to remain at that moderate risk due to continued dry and breezy conditions. And then northern central Idaho is going to move to that low risk, so no more green on the map as things dry out. We may see some breezier conditions across Idaho as well. You can see those higher wind barbs up there. On Thursday, conditions will continue to remain dry across the basin, kind of similar story. Maybe some breezier conditions up north across central Idaho, but overall, just keeping an eye on that hot, dry air. On Friday, following this warming and drying pattern, we're going to have a few more zones in northern central Idaho move to that moderate risk to join the rest of the basin. And we're keeping an eye out for these maybe scattered little chances of storms in here, but not issuing any risk on that quite yet. On Saturday, again, no high risk triggers, kind of similar pattern to Friday. Maybe some breezier conditions in the south there in those pockets of red across southern Nevada. You can see a slightly higher winds and maybe the chance for some scattered something coming our way on Saturday. The next 7 days of precipitation show the chance for some spotty, very light, maybe 100th of an inch up to a 10th of an inch accumulation wise precip in a few small areas from the Arizona Strip north through central Utah and into western Wyoming. But overall, we're not expecting any significant moisture in the next 7 days, and the rest of the basin will remain completely dry. The next 8 to 14 days show the chance for above normal temperatures across most of the basin, except for parts of western Nevada and kind of along the Sierra Front, where we may even be below normal temperature wise. Precipitation wise, we're looking at below normal for most of the Great Basin, except for the southeastern tip of Utah, which we'll see about near normal. But again, near normal for this time of year is still, low precipitation. So overall, just looking kind of warm and dry for the next 8 to 14 days. That concludes today's fire potential briefing. Please check back tomorrow for the latest updates.